Hello and welcome back to the Analyst Desk here at the Halo World Championship Tour, London. I'm Brycey, and joining me this time, for the first time, it's Ton on my very far left.
Do a little shake getting on here. What do you think? You like it?
We thought you'd bring you on. We thought we'd bring you on, you know.
We get you involved a bit more.
Yeah.
They needed to upgrade the looks on the desk. I think that's what it was.
I thought it was more of a charity thing, but okay.
Possibly.
All right, let's get into this next match here. It's one that a lot of us have been looking forward to. It's Infused versus Viperio. And we're going to get into that in just a second. But first, I kind of want to look at how today has gone in terms of fixtures. And we've already had quite a few games today. So let's take a little look at how everything has gone down. And as you can see, they're hyped, have won their first game against Garda. Reform lost to Team Ambition. Both those now in decider matches. And they're being faced by people like Riot and Rift, who are actually on the other side of the bracket. Epsilon and Team Dignitas have won the games we expected them to. Still, two more winners games to come on today. Team Infused and XL going up against Viperio and Exertus. And then we start to see the population of the fixtures list down the bottom as teams start to drop into those final decider games. But let's have a look at the bracket for this one. This is, of course, bracket Group C. This is the match we're looking at here. Winners match, Team Infused versus Viperio Esports. The loser of this goes to play Hyped Gaming, who we've seen won against Garda earlier today. And the winner, obviously, will be the group winner. So all to play for in this game. Guys, first thoughts?
Well, I mean, it's finally, I think this is my pick. This is my pick of the day, to be totally honest with you. I mean, Viperio versus Infused.
You're a massive Viperio fan. Like,
I am a
huge.
big Viperio fan. And the reason being, these guys are like the definition of grinders. Like, after we saw them actually beat Infused at the first Halo 5 tournament we saw in the UK. They've made some changes to the squads, both teams. But it's to show how they grind. Like, after the series, they'd play, win or lose, they would sit there, they would go through theatre. They wouldn't go and get food, they wouldn't go and get drink, they would sit there and they would just talk about their gameplay. And that sort of strive for constant improvement is what basically makes me like them so much, because they just want to get better. They're a team of young players. Added Vard, I mean, he's experienced, he's not young, I mean, he's been around forever, so...
it's so funny looking at them in the booth, isn't it? It's just like little guy, little guy, little guy.
Vard. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I didn't do that. Yeah, I did the whole thing.
I don't know, I was like shoulders. I was all about shoulders now, you know what I mean?
Big guy, innit?
Right, well, let's move on from that dangerous ground. All right, Viperio fanboy aside, Ton. Obviously, I'm going to guess you're going to go with Infused for this one.
Well, yeah, you have to. You look off the bat of their experience as a team. Yeah, okay, like they did lose to Viperio, as I said previously, at the previous tournament, but going to how impressive they've looked so far, I mean, you have to side with Infused a little bit. I know it's going to be a close game either way. You look at just look at the seeds. These two teams are relatively close to each other. It could literally go either way. But for me, Infused looked really strong yesterday. I'm expecting them to win.
See, I still think Infused will win.
So
I still think Infused will win.
Still Infused will win.
I just want to...
Is there a Viperio shirt under here?
I don't know, but if we take it off, I think we might have to send to the stream. So probably not the best idea. But I'm a big Viperio fan, and I like what they do, but I still think they're a little bit short sort of as far as class is concerned in game and just sort of closing out games. So I expect Team Infused to take this, but I wouldn't be surprised if Viperio do take a game.
Okay, so I can kind of see you're evening it up here. For me, at least with the way you're kind of projecting on Viperio here, you've said, oh, I think Infused is going to win. But there's definitely a fingers crossed, or can't wait for Viperio.
But everyone wants to see a good game, though, don't they? I mean, we've seen a couple of good games already this morning, and I want more of that, man. I want more of these close games, because yesterday we've seen games that was all 2-0, 2-0, 2-0, 2-0. And it can get a little bit sort of, you know, we're seeing these games going through, and you just want to see a bit of competition. And this will definitely be it. I think these two teams are well matched up against each other. I think Vard's going to have to play really well if Viperio want a good shot at this. Well, they're all going to have to play really well, but I think he could potentially be the standout player.
Yeah, I think Infused are very confident going into this series, which is important for them. The only thing with Infused is sometimes they can be a little bit guilty of getting overconfident. So they need to stay sort of calm in game and just play like they can, and then they'll be good.
Well, the other kind of accusation that's been levelled at Infused over this weekend and previously throughout the qualifiers is actually consistency. Now, they're third seed, and people say that's pretty much right for where they should be. A few people have flipped them around with Dig or Epsilon in some cases. What is the basis to this? Is it going to be a case of if they're the good team on the day, they're third seed? Is it how much do they vary from being third seed as kind of a base to, you know, dropping a little bit back, or could they beat the best on their very good day?
I mean, at their best, they could sweep this event. I mean, they are arguably some of the best players in Europe. They have been through H2A. I mean, this team crushed in America when they went over there. I think they ended up coming fourth at PAX. So, I mean, there's some huge players on that team and some really great experience. But the inconsistency is the problem. I mean, we've seen Chalky, who was just like a household name in H2A. He'd go over to America. He was just destroying pros. I mean, watching him play against Straight Ripping, and it was fun to watch. He was just like he was playing at home. But then coming into Halo 5, Chalky's been the most inconsistent player on that team. He's been the one who's sort of, in the games they've lost, has found himself down the bottom of the kills board. And if he has big games, they play well. So it's, for me, Chalky is the player that needs to play well if Infused want to win this.
So he's kind of like a tide marker then. If Chalky is able to kind of be a big player, then the rest of the team is playing well and they have the opportunity to take anyone down. If he's not, they suddenly start dropping seeds. Yeah,
exactly. A lot does go with Chalky because he's the sort of the powerhouse slayer for this team. He's the one who usually picks up most of the kills for the team. And if he's not doing that, then the others have to pick up too much slack. So if Chalky's on fire, Infused are going to be scary.
Awesome. Well, guys, thank you very much for kind of giving us the overview of this one, first of all. But let's throw it over to our gorgeous casters. It's Golden Wonder.
Gorgeous. How's it going? Welcome back. Of course, the boys are back. We're going to bring you this one. Should be a good one. That's right, people. Global icon. I think we're just going to keep it going all day. Lord and Savior. I got a couple tweets about it, you know, and I went into the chat and let everyone know who they're speaking to.
Can I get Walshy's friend on mine?
Walshy's friend?
Kind of
that's your achievement? I'm a global icon and a national treasure, and all you got is Walshy's friend?
Okay, I'm just happy to be off the desk with, you know, out of the way of Dave Walsh.
That's very, no, he's ruthless. And
usually if you stare at his smile for too long, you just kind of...
If you stare at Dave Walsh's smile, it's like looking at Medusa, right? Turns you into stone. Yep. You don't know what to do. And then you question your existence and potentially your manhood.
Yep.
But
it's happened to me so many times this weekend.
Has it now? You know, I can see your frail texture, you know, your structure, excuse me, and texture. You know,
there's nothing wrong with my texture, Alex.
You know what? Maybe there is. You ever thought about that?
That's really rude.
Maybe there is something wrong with you. I don't even know what I'm saying right now. That's the thing. But that's what happens when you are a global icon and a national treasure. It doesn't matter what you say. It all makes sense.
I miss Walshy already.
That's right. All right. So let's actually talk about some Halo and talk about our two teams. But first, talk about Infused, because this team, phenomenal squad here. Of course, Ramirez, Chalky, Blackjack, and 2Foxy. We've seen these players, well, most notably Ramirez, Chalky, and 2Foxy come over to the States before to compete in numerous HCS competitions. And you know what, veterans, that is the number one thing that you have to point to. This is a squad that knows what to do under pressure. They've been, you know, fighting hard here.
Yeah, here's the interesting thing about that graphic. It says Gfinity Giants, but they were actually not third, fourth. They were actually, all four players were in the final. Do you remember that London Conspiracy versus TCM final?
That's right, it was, yeah.
All four players on this lineup were in that final.
Just Blackjack was playing for London Conspiracy.
Yeah, so the other three were for TCM at the time. So
that's right. That's right. Who would have thunk it? Now, what is it? Almost a year and some change later, and now they're on the same team, and they're better for it. I like Blackjack on this roster. Brings a lot to the team, and I'm really excited to see this because you know, Viperio as well, another squad that I've been enjoying watching quite a bit. Looney, most notably, told me he's double conditioned today for his hair.
That's dangerous.
So he is bringing on the thunder with those beautiful locks on his head. Okay, yeah, he just can't hang with that, man. I need hair.
Yeah, I miss having hair. It's running away from me, my hair.
It is running. It's running away from all of us, my man. All right, folks, here we go. You saw the layout of the series. We will see Rift after this altitude breakout matchup. Breakout has come with it some interesting strategies at the you know, at the beginning. Rift brought some interesting, unique approaches to the table. See how this all works out as we're going to be following Chalky's lead here. Let's see what he does off the break. And looking over at the Viperio side, Warlord's going to be your BR player. Looney's going to be your underground charger. And there's actually Looney having to back away. Chalky's doing the same exact thing. Seems like they both just read each other like a book.
Yeah, the thing about Chalky is, you know, we spoke about on the Dignitas side. Oh, good trade there from Looney to take down Chalky. We talk about Chalky as the kind of player to make a play for Infused, you know, kind of that Moze for Dignitas. He's that igniter for Infused. So if anyone's going to try and make a play in a situation, as another trade goes down. Now in a 1 versus 2 here is Ramirez. He does have that battle rifle to play with. So let's see if he can make something happen here, Golden Boy.
He's going to have to make short work of his next opponent, whoever that may be. Looking around, Warlord's in a good position. Actually, they're playing tag team, which I like. I like this a lot. You want to hold hands, but Ramirez is going to find Outcast. That's going to even things up 1-1. Minute left on the clock now. Let's see what Ramirez is going to do as he actually tries to get out of dodge, but not enough there, as he will get picked off finally. I believe that was Warlord with that final kill. So good plays from Viperio, looking strong out the break.
Yeah, interesting fact there, the last 2 players alive for Viperio were actually the brothers, Outcast and Warlord.
Oh,
so
they're brothers.
The two brothers combining there to win the 2 versus 1. Rami did well to actually get it into a 1 versus 1, but Warlord with the height advantage took down Rami, and that's going to put the first round on the board to Viperio.
And I think Looney's playing the down low strat again. Warlord. Yeah, he's actually playing for the... Oh, he got the Hydra.
Yeah, he got it.
Yeah, so that's going to be important right now. Where would you take this Hydra, right? I mean, do you want to keep it around the mid? Because it's not the kind of gun that you want to have in middle, right? You kind of want to be able to curve it around those corners and when you get that lock on.
Well, here's the thing. I was liking what Mose was doing with it on the Dignitas side. He kind of threw up the lift until we got the lock on and then got out of danger and started spinning that thing around corners and stuff. I'm terrible with it, but 2 Foxy will take down Looney there. As we swap over to the Infused side, Chalky here in an engagement. 2 Foxy with another kill now in the round. That's 2 for him. But he goes down. Ramirez will take down Outcast. Bard is the last alive. And just like that, Infused are on the board, 1-1.
Just as we would have expected, no less from these 2 teams, an even matchup. Chalky, again, we're kicking it off with him. Actually, I want to go over to one of the Viperio guys. Let's see what they do off the break. Pick one and we'll run with it. Vard. So Vard was the LMS in that last round there. See if he's going to find some luck again. Looney, though, is going to take out Chalky, and that is going to disrupt whoever is hanging out by BR. That nade there, I think that was Ramirez, who wisely enough backs away. Vard playing the middle now, looking to see if anyone's going to try and charge through. Can he get some angles here? From looking around, actually, he does find Ramirez. Ramirez with that battle rifle has to back away to Foxy, holding down bottom red yard, I believe, and Blackjack by red ramp. Black is going to be away, and who is going to be pushing that one forward? I'm not entirely certain. I think that was going to be Vard?
Or... I think it was, yeah. I just wanted to note the contrasting plays there. Warlord, the BR player for Viperio, but Warlord will go down, and Ramirez and Crew will close out the round. That's 2-1 now to Infuse, but check out the completely different styles of play here. You see Rami there on your screen. He likes to play nice and methodical, like really passive with that battle rifle, pick his shots, pick his angles, whereas Warlord on the other side is happy to get in the face of the Infused team.
I don't think it makes sense to do that in Breakout. I'm not a fan of that. I don't know.
He wants to get aggressive in the face of Infused, but Looney will go down. Swap over to 2 Foxy, who's got himself a double already in the round. That's going to make it a 3-on-2 in favor of Infused. A little bit of passive play here from 2 Foxy. He's going to check himself. You know, this is smart play here from Infused. They want to bunch up and make sure they don't get picked off 1 by 1.
Yeah, you have to play that tag team game. Oh, finds one play by VR. It's going to be Warlord. Can he come out on top? Chalky's there for the kill. Last player left alive is going to be Vard. Vard goes in for the challenge, but he can't quite do it as he will fall. And Infuse goes up 3-1 in the count. 2 more. They'll move on to the next round.
2 more, exactly. Yeah, like you said there. No gooses on the board. I'm kind of sad about that, Golden Boy. We are here at the UK finals.
You were rooting for people to goose egg?
Goose is a...
You're a terrible person.
And breakout goose are a real thing.
No, breakout gooses don't count.
Yeah, they count.
No, they don't.
Come on,
I don't think they do not, because it's a round-based game. Okay, if there's other factors that contribute to your team success. Anyway, but we'll save that argument for another day.
Yeah.
As Infused are actually down 2 members here, and Vard opting not to go for that battle rifle. But Looney is just going to bring this flag forward. Of course, they have no idea where he's taking it because he's not juggling it, and finally going in for the juggle, not jungle. But regardless, though, this looks like it is going to be a round for Viperio. They put one on the board after those 3 rounds that Infused got in a row, 3-2. They need to tie this one up here. They cannot let Infuse get that match point victory, or match point, excuse me.
Viperio right back on the board. They are still in this game, down 3-2, of course. Let's start this round off with Looney. The man with the luxurious hair on the Viperio side.
That nade.
No, the tactical nuke there from this man right here, 2 Foxy, as he's got himself a double. Great performance so far here from 2 Foxy.
2 Foxy's nades have been incredible, by the way. He's got actually 2 doubles with nades so far. That's pretty good.
2 Foxy, excuse me, Ramirez.
As Chalky will take down Outcast, Ramirez here will find the last man alive there for Viperio, and Infused now on 3 map points, 4-2.
You just can't let a guy like 2Foxy 2 times get a double with nades. You just can't let that happen. 2Foxy's been, you know, on the money with those. His positioning has been phenomenal. Let's actually see if he goes for it again. But, oh, just eating that grenade there like it was breakfast. Like some baked beans. Had baked beans here in London. Yeah. Delicious.
You like them as well.
So good. I had numerous. I'm a fat man, and we eat. That's just what we do.
Went back for like seconds, thirds, fourths.
About fifths. Yeah, my wife was judging me whether or not she wanted to be with me anymore. That's why she's not here today.
I kind of get that.
So 2Foxy hanging out by flag. He's looking around. It's going to be 3-3 here. 1 player down on each side. You have actually Looney playing a little farther back. Warlord's going to be the playmaker here, but 2Foxy gets a headshot against Looney, and then there you have it. Warlord gets picked off. Outcast's going to be by himself, and that will do it, folks. Infused takes game number 1 brilliantly against Viperio. They came back with 3 rounds straight. There was an answer back from Viperio, but it was not enough, as they will go up 5-2 with that win. And some stars in that game, 2Foxy with those grenades, and also Ramirez in those early rounds contributed greatly to those victories.
Yeah, I agree. You got to look at 2Foxy on the Infused side. He was an absolute star performer. Viperio, yeah, they lost the breakout, but I think they'll still fancy their chances in this series. They still have Slayer on the rig to come. If they can shut down the players on the Infused side, don't let them settle with the sniper in the next game. I think they could maybe push this to a game 3. But like you said, 2Foxy in that game, what a performance from him. I mean, it just seems like every time we switched to him, he was getting double kills like straight away in the round.
Yeah, no, I think overall, thinking about how this squad operated, you know, it was consistent. They knew that, you know, they had to put a reliance on those BR plays. But I would say this much, 2Foxy's, you know, doubles with those nades actually impacted quite a bit, right? They won both of those rounds when they got those double nades, you know, the double kill with the nade, right? Yeah. And it happened 2 times. And that really rattles your cage, right? That frustrates you a lot because you're wondering, how can we group up when he has a nade like that? Yeah. How does that happen? And the fact that it happened 2 times, it would frustrate anyone. I know it would frustrate me.
Yeah, and here's the thing, though. We spoke about it on the analyst desk. You know, if you get the first pick, more often than not, you'll win the round. But when you get 2 picks, like come on, it should be a gimme round. And Infused were able to close out those rounds.
But here's the thing, right? Viperio were able to figure out how to stop Ramirez over at BR, right? I think they did maybe like 3 or 4 kills where they were able to, 3 or 4 rounds where they were able to stop Ramirez, and he was not a factor. That's why you actually saw his kills be substantially lower. He was an impact in the beginning of the game, not so much at the end.
Yeah, well, by stop, we don't mean, of course, taking down, because he was actually alive for most of those rounds. But what we mean by stop is, you know, push him into more of a passive position.
They had to make him uncomfortable.
Yeah, exactly. So can I just say your Kappa pin is incredible?
Oh, yeah.
Can we just highlight that for a second? I just want to see the Twitch chat just spam.
A bunch of people ask me all the time for the Kappa pin. I tell them no.
You make it yourself?
Or? No, of course I didn't make it myself. Really? Come on, man. I'm a global icon and a national treasure. You think I'm going to have, you know, do custom, like, little arts and crafts? You know, like I'm a preschool
You look like
kid?
the kind of guy that would do arts and crafts.
I actually would. Actually, arts and crafts are, you know, they're dope.
Yeah?
I'm a big fan of arts and crafts. I make all my graphics on my own stream, you know, but it's because I don't trust anyone else to truly represent my global iconness. You know? It's just my lord and mastery. I don't want to.
Have you got another? Did you take these from your curtains again?
I did. Like, and you know what? I took it from my grandma's curtains and fashioned it into a banging jacket. So, honestly, keep slinging the insults my way.
Hey, I deflect insults, them. It's just questions. I
deflect them like a mirror, dude. You're light. I'm the mirror.
I know. Listen, I know your wife very well. I have a lot of dirt on you. You know, we don't need to get into this right now.
You think you do, right? Listen, you think you do, but you actually do not.
Me and Cynthia, we're like this. Okay.
I am a. You know, I'm just. What is a? I don't know. I'm like a material where you deflect things off of.
Okay.
Okay, like a mirror, plastic, kind of, or something like that. You know, or gold. You know what I mean? Where like you really can't do things.
I think that's pushing it.
I don't know. I'm trying to figure something out, but I'm not a smart man. But here's the thing.
I think that's obvious. I think
I'm okay admitting that I'm not a smart man.
I think everyone knows that. That's why.
And
I think it's pretty obvious.
I'm mathematics, not good.
No.
Right?
Yeah. Okay.
Reading skills and comprehension, failed. You know? But here I am.
Well,
kids, anything's possible.
Going into map number 2 is going to be Viperio coming under the cosh. They are 1-0 down in this series.
I'm seeing the Rig Slayer being a very close-fought affair. I want to see if there's a bit of a disparity between Dignitas, Epsilon, and Infused. I want to see how these teams play these games differently, because obviously we've already seen Epsilon take the... we will take the sniper, excuse me. They'll take the sniper and hold it at the BR base, you know, while there is cover over there. And on the Dignitas side, they'll have the sniper outside. So I want to see what Infused do with the sniper, or even Viperio. If they get the first sniper, I want to see what they do with it.
Yeah, I really want Viperio to answer back here. You know, I don't think we've had a game 3 yet. No, this is.
Yes, we have.
We did?
I think so. Yeah.
Did we?
Game
oh,
two.
the last one.
The second.
That's right. The last of the losing match.
Yeah,
right. We had a game 3.
That's right.
Oh, by the beard.
It's been so long ago.
It has been. It feels like a century. So yes, but regardless, I do agree with you there. I do want to know where these players are going to be taking this objective and how they're going to be focusing on it. One thing's for certain, though, that camo has been picked up. And I have to actually see, I mean, one thing to note as well, I mean, you see the stats right there. Ramirez, a solid performance out of him. 2.75 in that KD, 44% accuracy. Not bad at all. But Chalky is starting to go to town with that sniper rifle. We'll join him right now and see what he's going to do here, because he just peeled someone who was hanging out right by snipe spawn and just made quick work of him.
Yeah, the word Chalky is pretty much, you know, synonymous with the word sniper rifle, so it's not a surprise at all to see Chalky getting the sniper rifle for Infused early on in this game. I want to see what he does with it. He seems to be going for more of the sniper drone tactic than the fusion tactic, right? Just hold it around this BR base, you know, where there's cover, let his team flush out the enemy and just pick them off like it's duck hunt.
Well, and the other thing too is that you don't oh, nice shot from Chalky. You do not want to, and this is the thing, you have to flow with your teammates, right? You have to flow with the way the game is going. So I ideally would not like to see, if things get too hot, I would not want to see Chalky continue to hold it down by BR base, by that bunker area. I don't want that to be the case. I want him to just rotate outside to Carbine if necessary. Alternatively, for Viperio, I want to see them flood Chalky and get as aggressive as they possibly can. They have 2 players down on tower side. They know that Chalky's going to be putting his attention that way. They have to worry about Beige over in the middle. They have to worry about Blackjack, but they should have already pushed him, in my opinion, down through Plasma Caster. But Chalky, he had a chance to recollect himself. And, of course, now he's back by the tower. So they just need to figure out how they're going to push Chalky out and get the sniper.
Here's what's interesting about Chalky holding the sniper right here. You know, a player like Snipe Drone will happily sit at the BR base and just be patient. Whereas Chalky here, he's not seen a player for a little while. So he's kind of second-guessing himself. He's kind of putting himself in a position where he's trying to find some of the Viperio members.
That's true.
But right now, I feel like he's in danger of overextending. But I think he's made the right play here. He's come back to the BR tower, to the safety of that cover, and he'll let his teammates just
But here's the thing, right? Viperio's right back in this matchup.
Yeah.
It's 10-8, and you know, you have Infused members pushing out, getting aggressive, and instead of letting their ace Chalky worry about getting those picks. So, you know, they're trying to lure them out, trying to drive VP out of their hole. It just does not seem to be working out. Now that Vard has the camo, he almost took a couple shots there. Did Vard end up falling? He's still alive. So Vard is going to be the playmaker. He has to push in. He doesn't have a lot of time with his camo. He needs to make a play, be the guy that is going to frustrate him. And there you go. So this is the opportunity he was looking for. Now charging around, they're looking for him. They're trying to find out where Vard is going to be located. He's going to have that storm rifle as well.
He's looking for Chalky right here, but check out the rotation from Chalky. He's already across
He already got out of dodge, man. Yeah. That was good. That was really smart from Chalky. He had identified that they lost camo and that there was going to be a player pushing up on the right side. Oh my goodness, Chalky with a great shot there. He's going to find Looney, who is trying to just recover from their shields. Now they're starting to gain that lead and, you know, run away with this one if they're too careful, or if they're not too careful though. Viperio, this one could slip from their fingertips right now.
I see a sniper in the hands of Blackjack as well. He's scoping over towards this BR base. 8 kills the lead at the moment for Infused. And Blackjack here is just scoping in at the BR base, just waiting for a Viperio player to try and poke their head out. And that's exactly what he does. And there you go. Outcast goes down just like that. Blackjack will make it a 10-kill lead now for Infused. They have to be very wary of this scatter shot here.
They gotta get this kill. They need the sniper.
Oh, the no-scope there from Blackjack does go down in the end. But great stuff there from Blackjack. How he hit that shot, I will never know.
Yeah, that was actually absurd. Great shot, without a doubt. 22-11. That's the kind of shot that makes you question some things. And it certainly would frustrate Viperio even more knowing that that was the case. What do you have here? You have 2Foxy now with the sniper. He has quite a few shots in it. Ramirez has a storm rifle looking around, so only one sniper is going to be available at this time. But Ramirez does have scatter shot too, so he's going to look to defend at the very least as best he possibly can. Some of the more tighter corridors, so that this way no one pushes up and gets too reckless.
Yeah, one thing I will note though, 2Foxy a much more aggressive sniper than Chalky. We talk about Chalky's patience. You know, he's not the most patient player in the world, but check out how quickly 2Foxy's actually pushed out.
We have not seen Chalky do that at all.
No, Chalky, Chalky will sit at the BR base for a little while, and then maybe when he doesn't see anyone for too long. But 2Foxy wants to get right involved with the action and help his team. He's trying to find some of the Viperio spawners at the moment, but seems to be slim pickings here for 2Foxy.
Now he's going to have to take this outside, and there is going to be a member of Viperio. There's going to be Looney, but that battle rifle is going to find its way right to Looney. Great shot from him. Taking a couple nades, though, actually from some teammates there. Let's see what 2Foxy and Blackjack can do to work together. Player down in the basement. He's going to have to run away. It's Warlord. He does manage to get out, but not without taking some shots from behind. There's going to be another member underneath there, as well as Outcast. And Outcast cannot hang long enough before Blackjack and 2Foxy double team to make that kill a reality. 28-13 here with plenty of time left on the clock. Let's see, 2Foxy, beautiful shot there with the battle rifle to clean it up. Now that that sniper rifle's down, will we see Viperio be able to get control of this and then potentially get right back into this game? They need to figure something out. That sniper comes up in 15 seconds. They have another sniper outside. Now's the time.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, they're down by 14 at the moment. If they're to get themselves back in this game, they need to do exactly what Dignitas and Epsilon have done in the past. They need to get that sniper. They need to get it over to the BR base and just flush out the Infused side and pick them off one by one, because that way you're not surrendering too many deaths.
Big battle.
But that's a big battle right there. Vard can't quite make it happen. He will escape with his life. But if they get the sniper over to the BR base, I think that's the key in this game right now. If they can do that, then they'll be picking off Infused players without surrendering too many deaths.
2Foxy has a snipe for his team. Looney has one for his. Let's see. Oh, ground pound coming through. And that was going to be Ramirez there getting aggressive. 2Foxy looking to get that camo. That's going to cause some problems for Looney here, who has a sniper rifle right by Carbine. And I do not think Looney has any idea that he's pushing up. That is it. He falls on that play. Although two players have come down, 37-21. It's going to be 13 kills before Infused are able to move on to the next round of play here at the Halo World Tour, Halo Championship World Tour, London. Let's see now this beautiful spot.
Play, man. I didn't even know about this thing until
I was watching the broadcast. You were like blown away by that.
I didn't even know. Am I just bad, or is this a?
No, I mean, you know, it's just not something you'll commonly do, but it's a great route to run, and I've seen it. It was done to me a couple times, you know, when I was playing with some community members, and yeah, I mean, it's pretty cool. It's a good strat. But look at this, man. One of my favorite guns in Halo, the Carbine, being put to use here. 2Foxy just showing that every gun is viable pretty much in any given situation. It's going to be 42-22, a 20 kill differential here between Infused and Viperio. Viperio need to figure something out, but I'm afraid Wonderboy might be too late.
Yeah, here's the thing. Coming into this match, we kind of saw this as one of the marquee matchups coming in. And Infused have just put their foot down and said, hey, listen, we're no slumps. We're here to win this weekend. And they certainly look like they're about to win this game. They're up by around about 21 kills at the moment. As long as Blackjack has the sniper, he has 2Foxy to back him up. I can't see them throwing this game away. Infused looking very, very good in this matchup. And Blackjack right now is just showing off here, Golden Boy. He's just trying to hit some no-scopes.
So flashy.
Yeah,
so flashy.
He's a flare player.
One more kill remaining here. Who's going to get it? It's going to be Blackjack with the final shot, and that will do it. 50-25, doubling their opponents. Infused moves on. And for Viperio, we will see them in the decider matchup where they will play against Hype Gaming, I believe. So take a look at some of the stats here. Any takeaways from you?
2Foxy, man. 2Foxy with 19 kills.
No way, really?
2Foxy is on fire. And I think if Infused are going to push those top teams, I think 2Foxy is going to be the man.
This guy is killing me.
Certainly to be the igniter for Infused. And as long as he's firing like he is in that Team Slayer rig game, I think Infused are going to be just fine.
Well, I think that was also a point of discussion yesterday as well, right? Yeah. You know, this squad had a, you know, they need 2Foxy to be that guy, right? Everyone's talking about, you know, Blackjack, what he brings to the team, Ramirez, you know, how he has to be mindful of, you know, not getting frustrated. Chalky as well, you know, being that ace player. but 2Foxy has been the guy for me. He is Infused. I am a huge fan of him based off what I've been seeing so far. And I feel like if he's playing on all cylinders, and he's been a playmaker for this squad, when you look at that altitude breakout game, the numerous double kills he was getting with nades, the beautiful shots he was making on rig. Granted, everyone has been contributing and doing their part. I just feel like 2Foxy has been killing it these last 2 days.
Yeah, and here's the thing, like Chalky, when everyone looks at Infused and, you know, the old TCM team, Chalky was the superstar. He got all the attention. 2Foxy kind of flew under the radar a little bit. And other than us expert analysts here in the UK, you know, we kind of picked up on 2Foxy. He was the MVP of most of the Halo 2 anniversary events in Europe. So 2Foxy, a really solid player to watch. And like we said, he's really the key player for Infused. He can absolutely single-handedly wreck a squad. So if he's firing tomorrow, then I think Infused will be just fine.
Boy, he's definitely going to need to be firing on all cylinders. That's going to do it for that matchup. Dignitas will, or excuse me, Team Infused will move on to the next round. Of course, Viperio will face off against Hype Gaming in the decider match. We'll see how that one goes down later on. But for now, we're going to toss it over to our wonderfully dressed and absolutely amazing, gorgeous, beautiful.
Oh, we're being nice now?
We're being nice. That's it, because you know what? Global Icons, we just change it up. Take it away, boys.
Thank you very much there, Olden boy. Did you know that Global Icon was actually a school nickname of his?
Apparently so.
Well, his head is so big and round, that's what they used to study geography on. They used to draw on it like a globe. But never mind, first impressions of how that one went down.
Well, I think it's fairly conclusive, wasn't it?
I mean, they were very aggressive from Infused, looking very, very strong. Like as if they weren't really bothered about the game. They were just going in there, get the job done. And they made it look easy.
I was really impressed with them there.
I mean, your team...
I was a Viperio believer, but
fanboy is the word I used.
I think it's a bit strong. But as far as Infused are concerned, I mean, they just swept them under the table. They were a 32nd team, and you know, in a tournament, it was convincing. And if that sort of Infused,
it was reminiscent of the first day's games. That's not what we were expecting at all.
I think if that sort of Infused turns up, especially with 2Foxy playing like he did in that series, they could take first place.
He just looked so strong. It was, again, the aggression all the time. Those nades going over as well were on point every single time. It just looked great the whole time.
All right, okay. We were speaking about Vard in there, and we thought he might be a key player for Viperio. It didn't really come off.
No, I was a little bit disappointed with Viperio. I've got to be honest. I thought this was their chance to sort of show that they're the team below Excel, and, you know, they had the opportunity to show Infused what they're all about, but they just got shut down. It was like every time we were watching a Viperio member, they were just getting outshot or outplayed, or there was 2 BRs or 2 pistols on them, and it just seemed like Infused had the superior shots, teamwork. It just all fell in favour of Infused.
Like I say, it was just a big surprise to me how one-sided it was. We said the breakout, we thought Infused would take the breakout anyway, but I mean a 5-2 there, and then going into the Slayer, I was like, well, okay, now let's see, you know, if Onset's right about what happened with everything. But all right, let's get, before we go map by map into this one, let's actually get down to the interview. It's Josh with Ramirez.
Cheers, Bryce. Ramirez, probably overall the most clinical team so far. Another State another Slayer, of course, and on the breakout out of the previous 2 teams, definitely the best performance.
Yeah, I'd say so too. We controlled the breakout quite well despite a shaky start. I mean, our strategies were always on point even when the game wasn't going as we wanted it to. And I did awful on the Slayer, but my team, we practiced our strategies, especially a lot on that map, because we've got to see into quite a few times when we played good teams on it, so we've put a lot of time into Rig Slayer. But yeah, it was a good performance, I think.
And where do you rank your breakout game compared to the others?
With a game type, I think it's 2 on the day to say, oh, we're better than this team, we're better than that team at it, and I think it's fair to say that for the other teams as well. But I'd say when we're playing well on it, and with that sort of team, our communication is quite on point. I think we could beat any team.
Rig Slayer, the plaudits from the analysts was going towards 2Foxy, but it looked like just a race for kills. Yeah,
exactly. That's the way. I think Viperio were just hitting a lot of shots. 2Foxy, sorry, he went a lot of shots that game, so he was just rolling with it. But the way it plays, you know, any one of us could get a lot of kills. Chalky were hitting his snipes. Blackjack were, you know, we all understood the map together. We were getting in some good positions as well. Foxy obviously just took off on that map a little bit.
You've been playing since Reach. Happy to see Halo in such a grand environment.
I've been playing since Halo 3 actually. Nah. But yeah, of course, it's good to see Halo get a bit of attention it deserves. Seeing Call of Duty get all the World Championships, especially when Halo's been such a flagship title for Microsoft and Xbox. It's good to see it actually get, you know, the World Championship finally.
Good stuff. All right, Brycey, back to you.
Well, there you go. He does seem kind of more than happy with his performance for his team. He knew there was a little bit of a show there from Infused. But let's take this map by map. Let's go on to the breakout. Tan, what did you think?
Well, basically, I was a little bit surprised because Infused, we were expecting to go into it, and they looked really, really strong throughout. But it was also, I seen a couple of moments where they were getting aggressive, and when we watched the Epsilon game, they were taking things very methodically, very slow, making sure they were checking all the angles. Like, for example, I think it was one time, I think it might have been actually Ramirez going up to BR. He went up to BR and it didn't check any of the angles. He got taken out straight away. But I think that was just really a testament to how confident Infused were with this game. They were pushing in there, maybe not throwing caution to the wind a little bit, pushing in, being aggressive. They got aggressive and they walked away with it. And they still, even though a couple of, like, I would say probably mistakes, if anything, came alight, but it didn't seem to matter. They didn't seem to be fazed by it. It was their confidence in their own ability and the teammates to just go on and stomp Viperio, if anything.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's a great point. I think at the very start of the breakout game, sometimes Infused can be guilty of a little bit of overconfidence. You know, they know that in their minds, they'd already won that series. So the little player, I know exactly what you mean. I mean, Ramirez just charged up to BR. He saw the grenades coming in for him, and he thought, I'll just dodge these. And it didn't work out. But I think just one play like that, and then Infused switch on, and then they go into Infused mode. And then
wait, that certainly was a switched on Infused. I mean, that was an incredible show.
Yeah, and then, as you say, every time they got a man advantage, I mean, we talked about 2Foxy. Everyone's been hyping him up this series, but the amount of entry kills that he got, and then he'd actually pick up double kills straight off the bat. And if you're in a 4v2 advantage straight away, in breakout, it's very, very difficult to stop that.
It most certainly is. I mean, for me, it just seemed like Infused had that together. Like, it was one of those ones where breakout does seem to be quite a big equalizer there because you can come down a few individual plays, you win a gunfight, you now have a numerical advantage, you can now push forward in places you want to, and then trade your way out to a win. But Infused didn't seem to really care about anything. They were like, oh, you know what, we're super confident, we'll just take on whatever gunfights we need to, we'll win our gunfights, and then we'll team up and we'll beat you even further into the ground. But let's move on then. Let's move on to the next map. Let's go on to map number 2. It's the rig. Again, impressive by Infused. They seem to have control the entire way through. They were just slaying, and they seem to be having a little bit of fun with it almost.
Yeah, I mean, I think Josh summed it up really, really well in that interview down there. It was the race for kills.
Yeah. I
mean, we saw at the start, Infused actually had quite a bit of respect for Viperio. You know, we saw Chalky hanging back in the BR base, waiting to get some picks, and eventually sort of moving his way around the map. But as the game progressed, we saw Infused just put the boot
Unleash,
in. I mean, it was unbelievable. We saw Blackjack no-scoping people. And 2Foxy's a player I want to highlight, especially. He got 19 kills in that game, but it was the way he actually picked up the kills. A player like Snipe Drone we watched earlier, he'll sit back and he allows his teammates to then pick up the kills. But 2Foxy will always usually be the first player in a push for Infused. So he's pushing. He had the sniper rifle on his back towards the end of that game, but he was still initiating all of the pushes. So he would push in, they would get a couple of kills, and then he would be looking for spawns.
That was something I kind of saw as well. I mean, it looked to me like he was fine to just slap that the sniper on his back and push forward and be so aggressive. That's not something you weren't really expecting. Do you think they'll actually continue that kind of tactical, that way of playing as we go further into this tournament and they actually start to get more serious competition? Because like I said, was that just kind of one of those symptoms of the fact they were so confident of that part of the map?
I think, going on as the tournament goes on, maybe as the thing we specified in Breakout, where it was a couple of mistakes, and, in the Slayer, they were pushing on, be very aggressive. I think that I'm not too sure. Will it change, do you think, when they go up against a team like Epsilon, that sort of thing? Or
Infused always
it's
play
backing
best
up that confidence,
when they are aggressive. It's when they start questioning their own game that sometimes they struggle, but the best Infused you will see are the ones that are constant. If you're playing against them, you will constantly see them jumping at you. It's players like 2Foxy and Ramirez and Blackjack is exceptional at that. They're exceptional at starting pushes, but also staying alive. So they will get into engagements, they will stay alive. And then if you've got a player like Chalky sitting back with that sniper rifle, they cover each other so well that that's the best way they play. The thing you want to hate if you're Infused, especially on, like, for example, a flag game, if they get you 4 dead, your respawn is going to be hell.
All right, so we spoke before the game about this Infused consistency issue. And we said, you thought if they were played Infused on, they could beat any team here and they could sweep the competition. Now, in my mind, that was a fairly dominating performance. Do you think that that's a performance good enough to justify them taking this entire thing?
Potentially. I mean, you've got to see, no offense to Viperio, but who they're going up against.
Yeah.
I want to see if they can do that against your Epsilons, against your Digs, against XL. If they can go and put up a good performance against one of those teams, then there's no reason they can't take it.
For me, I think Infused have sort of progressed all the way through these qualifying cups, and they've improved their placements pretty much every cup. But Infused are a tournament team. when they get to tournaments, they are a different animal because they just want to prove to everybody who's watching them, everybody who's watching them on stream, everyone who's watching them in the arena, that they are the best players in Europe still. So they are a different beast at an event.
All right, now we've actually just seen the top 3 seeds play. Do you think that was the best performance, or do you think it was just kind of a case of against Viperio it was a little bit easier, or would you still kind of rate these in, you know, Epsilon, Dig, Infused, or have you changed your mind just based on what we've seen in these 33 games?
I don't know whether to change my mind.
Come on, Set Curse, we believe in you.
God, it's hard because, I mean, you've got to take into consideration the teams going up against each other and how both these teams compare against each other, etc. So I think the way Infused went up against Viperio, obviously it suited the way they played because it looked so convincing. At the same time, you really can't say until they go up against each other which way they're going to go.
Yeah, it's between those top 3. It's so tight. It really is so tight. So we're really not going to know until they're playing against each other. Even the series they've had in the Cups have been tight. So I'm going to stick to my guns at the moment, Brycey. I'm going to stay how I was. I'm going to go Epsilon first. But Infused, if they keep playing like this, they could take it.
All right, well, guys, thank you very much for that. Guys, everyone at home, coming up next, Excel versus Exertus. But before that, we have a great video to show you. It's 2 twins, 1 buck.